My name is Miss Fleming. I'm in here subbing today for Mrs. Morris. And some of you already, how many people already have had me as a sub before? So you know that I'm Mrs. Morris's little sister, right?
No.
Okay. Now, most of you have already have your discovery book passed out. We're going to be looking at discovery book. Does everybody have a discovery book? Okay, everybody should have one. We're going to be looking on page G9 when we get to that point to look at the embryo pictures, all right? And then we were just getting ready to talk about meiosis because yesterday, what did you do with brain pop? Can anybody answer that question? Anybody remember watching brain pop yesterday? What did you watch on brain pop? Meiosis and sponges. And what else?
Just those two.
Just basically those two. Okay, well, I'm going to continue on with that on page 45. So let's look on page 45 of your science book. And it says up there at the top, what is fertilization? Okay, we talked a little bit about fertilization. It's the joining of an egg and a sperm. And we said that when you put fertilizer on your lawn, what does it do to the soil? Makes it more productive? Right. And what were you going to say? Makes it grow? Did you want to add something else to it?
No.
Okay. Now, does anybody want to read the first paragraph where it talks about sexual reproduction there? Okay, go ahead.
In sexual reproduction, an egg and a sperm cell join. Just before they join, a human sperm and an egg.
Or you have the duck. Example of a picture of a duck there in your book. So you have an egg and a sperm. The egg is fertilized by the sperm, and then it forms a zygote. Okay, a zygote. The formation of a zygote is the process called mitosis. All right, so make sure that you remember the difference between mitosis and meiosis. Meiosis is the cell division of the chromosomes. Now, what did Miss Morris say that you had a word mnemonic for meiosis? It was my what? My big fat hairy toe, right? And how does that remind you of meiosis? Just let you remember that it's meiosis, or was there something else included with that? Meiosis and mitosis. Make sure that you remember the difference between mitosis and meiosis, all right? Mitosis is the formation as the zygote grows, and mitosis is the division of the cell. Yes?
For my big fat hairy toe, I think it's to remember for how you have hair on your skin everywhere.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
That might help. We'll find out. We'll look at the answer in here. Okay, let's look at page 46 where it says, what is meiosis? Okay, was it Ella? Okay, Ella just got through reading these phases. You have them in your book right here. So if you look at the metaphase, you can see where they're starting to polarize, to split apart, because they're going to split up. You have 46 chromosomes, and then what do? They split, and then they form how many? What's 46 divided by 2? 20 what? 23. So then you have 23 sex cells. You'll see that the sperm cell, the male sex cell, its length is about 0.06 millimeters. Okay, how big would 0.06 millimeters be? Pretty small, wouldn't it? This ruler here, most of your rulers that you have is in centimeters. Okay, so if I had basically almost one little tick mark on that centimeter is almost equivalent to what? A millimeter. The sperm cell is basically about the size of a dot on the end of a sentence. So if you look at a sentence and you look at that little period dot there, that's about how big an egg cell is. Okay, it says the sex cell of the male is about 0.06 millimeters, and then the egg cell, the next one over, is 0.1 millimeters in length. Okay, down here where it says the egg is the sex cell, where it says your vocabulary word, the egg, somebody read that paragraph there where it says the egg. Right here. Want to read that? Okay.
The egg in the sex cell produced by the female. A human egg cell is much larger than a
It says that the fetus at 7 months is almost 3 pounds and is 33 centimeters in length. This right here on most of your rulers for 12 inches is 30 centimeters. That's about what the length is. How long does it take for a baby to develop, for a human, and for the mother to produce to give birth to the baby? 9 months, right. So at 7 months, the baby is this size right here, the length. And what else did we cover? Let's look at this online list of supercentenarians. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and get this set up. And one other section here on lifespan. Let's look at lifespan on page 48. Okay, lifespan is the time it takes for everybody to go from birth to youth to old age and then to death. Now we have a picture of a French woman, Jeanne-Louise Calment. And she has broke the records of the oldest living human. What age was she when she died?
122.
122. Okay, lifespan and life expectancy are different. Mrs. Calment's lifespan went to age 22, but what is the actual life expectancy? In the United States, it's a little over what? What does it say down there in the second paragraph?
76 years.
76 years of age. Right there. Okay, what's the lifespan of a rabbit? Okay, these are the recorded lifespans. Remember what lifespan and life expectancy is. Life expectancy is what we expect the rabbit to live, but in our chart here, the actual recorded life of the rabbit was, what does it say right there? 18 years. Do you have your science book out? Okay, what do you have for an ostrich? Right here. Do you have an ostrich in here? What's the ostrich say?
60 years.
Yep, 60 years for an ostrich. 62 years was recorded. What do you think is one of the oldest living species that we have? Look down there. Recorded 150 years plus is what? Tortoise, right? Does anybody have pet tortoise? Does anybody know anybody has a tortoise or a turtle? You have one?
I have.
Most of them are at zoos and things. They have to be taken care of very well. If you ever see a turtle crossing the highway or anywhere trying to get one place and you think it's in danger, you're supposed to be able to pick it up, with your parent help you, pick it up by its shell, and then place it on the other side of the road in the same direction that its head was facing, and then put it back down, all right? So that way it would get across the road safely.
We found 2 turtles up at our cottage, and one was going across the road, and so we put it in our car and then let it through water, and we found another one right on the tree.
Okay, they did a very good thing. They protected the turtle. You want to protect turtles, so if you see one in danger like that, you can either pick it up. If you don't have a lot of time, most people are in a hurry, pick it up and set it. Her parents were able to put it in their truck and drive it on the other side where the water was, and then set it back down. Because normally they're trying to find their way to water.
A couple
No.
years ago, I had a pet turtle.
Also, it's a shame when what happens when our cat kills a bird or something that, you know, it's the nature of life. Okay, let's look at the centenarians real quick here. Okay, well that's loading up. Does anybody have any questions on any of these development stages? Miracle of life? Yes.
On page G10, why does like at the 4 week it looks so like disgusting?
Yeah, it looks
If you look at week 4, it's still forming. It doesn't really have an eye yet. It looks like it's trying to form an eye. Okay, the tiny buds that you can now be seeing, then they grow into arms and legs. So there's like little buds there, but they're not arms or legs yet. The body system has begun to form and the heart has started to beat at week 4. Supercentenarians. Let me put this down. Okay, here you have what's called a supercentenarian. Yeah, supercentenarians. Okay, the verified living supercentenarians. Let's see who is the oldest. Does anybody know who the oldest in the U.S. right now is today living? How what their age is?
150.
Okay, United States. We have Sarah Cross. Okay, but she passed away in 1999. Marie Louise Calumet, is that her name? John Louise Calumet was the oldest age of 122 years of age, and I could add that in here where it was appropriate. They might not want that in there though. They might take it out. So it depends on how they have arranged their Wikipedia site for this. But as we scroll down, we can look to see the living list. You see that in the United States, there is still somebody living. Her name is Bessie Cooper. Can you see my pointer?
Yeah.
And her birthday will be the 26th of August, and she's currently 114 years old. And let's see if we can see if they have a picture of her. Anybody have any grandparents that are over the age of 70? Who do you have? What's some of your ages? Go ahead and say them out loud.
96.
96?
77.
74?
93.
92?
94.
And I have another aunt that's in a nursing home that's going to be 98.
Is it true that females live longer than males?
That would be a life expectancy. If we research the life expectancy of males and females, we would find that, from what I last researched, that females do have a longer life expectancy than males. Has anybody ever else read that? But we already said from our book, what was the expected life in years of a human? Expected life. Not the report is long living, but what was it?
Over 76 years.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Hoffman.